Hi, welcome to Brady's Blunders, where I show you the mistakes in my games, hoping you don't make the same ones in yours. And this is a continuation of the game from the previous video, and actually continuing from the very same spot. And if you remember, in the last one I made a mistake by letting black gain strength on the outside over here, which activated this stone and made this peep here particularly nasty. But this wasn't my last mistake. And so when black played here, I connected, black came out, and I hunted on top. And if you're at all worried about a cut here, I understand. This cut is important, but it doesn't work for black yet because these black stones are weaker than these white stones. So I can get away with this hane for now. When black turned here, I covered him outside like this. Black threatened to connect underneath, and I said no. And then black backed up, and I connected. And then black once again said, I'd like to connect, please. And this is the game problem. And the way to think about it is this. What's the status of these groups? Is white going to get captured if I continue? Is black going to get captured? Or is it going to be a seki, mutual life for both? And when you read it out and make your decision, that helps guide your actions. So if you would like to think how you'd play in this, go ahead and pause now. Right. I read it out and thought I was either going to win, which is how I actually read it, or worst case scenario, get a seki in case my opponent had something I didn't expect. So I went ahead and split. And using this, I have a liberty on either side. So that's why I don't hane. This gains me an extra liberty. Black didn't agree with my analysis and played this way. He came out, I blocked, he hane'd, and I cut, and he played Atari, and I answered. And all this is exactly what I read. So I was feeling pretty good. But then black played this move, which I hadn't expected. And I actually thought I was going to win the fight by one liberty, but when he played here, he took away the liberty first, and I realized I was going to lose the fight. And that was really upsetting, actually. I was like, I spend 3 minutes reading, and it doesn't work because he doesn't play what I expect. So again, it's that one-sided reading I've talked about before. And so when this happened, the game got more difficult. And like I said, I got upset, but I really shouldn't have gotten too upset. It's still playable from this point, as I will show in the next video. But for now, let me show you what I was thinking would happen, because it's kind of cool, and show you how I should have played, because that's even cooler. All right, so let me back up. I actually thought black would connect his cutting point here. So this was the one-sided reading I was talking about. I thought it would be this, and instead it was this. And of course, there's a liberty difference on this group. So what I read is when he played this, I could play here, he would connect, and then I could play here. And I'm keeping him short of liberties. But this is where I thought, I'm going to get to use one of those cool tsujis we all learn, and this is the stone tower. That if he tries to capture this stone, he would play here, and I would descend, and he would descend with me, putting me in Atari, and I would counter Atari here. These stones are in Atari. When he picks up, I Atari again. So he picks up, and I Atari again. And when he connects, then I play here, and black has 2 liberties, and I have 3. Yay, I'd win. And this is what I was expecting. And I don't think, there's obviously other possibilities for black, and I don't think any of them work. One I don't think I read, and I don't know if I would have gotten the right answer or near Byoyomi, was this. How to play if black answers this way, right? The instinct is, let me protect the stone that black can capture. But if I play here, it's pretty clear that I'm behind by a liberty, so it just doesn't work. But I don't have to do that, and instead I can play this really dangerous looking move. But things are funny when people are short of liberties. If black plays here, I don't even need to make a ko this way. I can just descend. And if black plays here, it's black who runs out of liberties first. Black plays here, um, same thing. So white would win the fight. So I had a really cool sequence if black played the way I wanted him to play, but unfortunately he didn't. He found this move. All right, so my play was optimistic and therefore wrong. So what should I have played? Well, it turns out this move was greedy. I was trying to save everything and get everything. And instead, I need to accept that his move here is a good move and he's going to gain something for it. And the question to ask is, well, okay, that's fine. He's going to gain something. Can I gain something back? Because the reality is, everything that happens, he's still only one liberty up. So he needs to be very careful the whole time. So my first job is just to not die. So by connecting my stones up, I gain center access and a little bit of power, just playing this way. And again, it's black now that needs to worry. So he will most likely come out with a move like this. And instead of playing the Hani as I did in the game, I can just say, all right, I can't save this group for now. I'll just leave it. But let me come back and try to take compensation in the corner. I'm going to go ahead and concede that these stones are probably his. There's still some nasty aji. But let me try to gain compensation. When I play that, actually, this black group gets weakened. And just as I needed to make sure I had center access, it's a good idea for black to make sure that he has center access too. And now he's threatening to cut me, so I need to make sure I have center access. So this is both he and I running towards the center, but in so doing, I'm beginning to control the outside and make this group nervous again. And it would probably behoove black to go ahead and just capture those stones cleanly and say, hey, white, I gained something. I took away half of your top. And this would be true. Frustrating, but true. But I can go ahead and gain some compensation by taking away the corner. So this would settle this whole string. I'm alive now, and actually further unsettles this black group, who will need to run towards the center and would probably do a move like this, and threatening to build the center while running, which is pretty cool if you can do it. The problem is, because he's running, it's very hard to make a solid wall and points in the center. I can just continue to chase him out. And I don't know if you can see it, but black's got a real defect in his shape at A. That if I can get a stone there, I'm taking away I shape and threatening to cut him to ribbons. So black will probably defend once more. And at this point, his group is pretty much settled and safe, but I've gained some momentum. I've gained a corner, I've gained center access over here, and I can gain center access over here. Black's probably going to defend that stone, and when we look at the board, it's very much a gain, despite my loss up here. As a matter of fact, this lower black group isn't even safe yet. It's not 100% safe, and I may be able to invade around here. So, what's the takeaway? First, as so many of the recent videos have shown, reading is fundamental. It's really, really important. You need to be able to read not just one-sided, but for both sides, 7, 9, 10 moves ahead to get strong at this game. And I, once again, did it poorly. Okay, so that's one thing, but not necessarily fatal. But then another important thing, and this comes up again in the next video, is occasionally your opponent's going to make good moves or exploit your moves that weren't so good, and you can't get desperate or get despondent or get down when that happens. When black played A, I needed to just kind of nod my head and say, yeah, that's a good play. And how can I minimize the benefit of the play? Okay, I can let him have half of it, but in so doing, I get to take away the corner and to damage the side. It was actually a perfectly reasonable result, but instead, I tried too hard to kill, and then the combination of A and failing to kill where I thought I could, it threw me off my game, and it was really downhill from here. So frustrating, but something to learn. So the next video, I'm going to continue from exactly where I left off and show why, even though I made my group bigger before dying, why it wasn't the end of the world. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.